to the point where it like burns the bottom of your feet.
That's right. Sometimes it does. If you don't have sometimes those double socks on, you're going to feel it. You're going to feel the blisters coming on.
You're going to make a prediction here. Hantuchova 2-0. Schett playing really good tennis right now.
I think we're going to see a good match. I mean, Barbara Schett can really take it to you. She can be solid from the baseline. She's got a tricky little serve. I think we're going to see a tight match, but I really like Hantuchova. I like her game. I like her mental attitude out there. She's trying new things. It's got variety, so I'm going to give the edge to Hantuchova.
Schett to serve, top of your screen, first ball. Starts out nicely with an ace.
You can see right away the quickness of the court. Both those serves kind of bounced and skidded. The balls don't have a lot of fuzz this week, so we're going to see shorter rallies.
.30-15.
30-15, a little help from the net. Never hurts. You might not have seen it, but the obligatory, hand gesture, sorry. I only see that in tennis. I don't see it in any other sport.
It's true.
Yep.
Hantuchova misjudging that forehand cross court by Schett, thinking it was going to be a little long.
Just inside the baseline, game point, Schett. I think it always evens out throughout the course of a match.
Not necessarily.
You don't think?
No. I've seen a couple of close matches where all of a sudden at 5-4 in the third, a player gets a net court. That's when you want to get him.
Not in the first game of the match.
That's right.
The first error of the game. Back to deuce.
Beautiful return of serve.
Certainly one of the strengths of Hantuchova.
She's always looking to move in. She's looking to take the ball early. She likes to close out points at the net, and that double-handed backhand is just extremely solid. That's her best shot, in my opinion.
So she holds off 2 games points and wins the game. Great serve. We've talked about the week that Barbara Schett has had, beating Rubin, beating Clijsters. This is what she had to say about her results.
I feel great. I haven't really played that well this year so far, so this is really important for me that I beat Chanda and Kim here this tournament, and it's great to be in the quarterfinals here, of course, but it's not finished yet. Of course, I want to try as hard as possible to get into the semis, and we'll see.
And it has been a terrific week for Barbara Schett. She said she was so surprised yesterday when she was playing Kim Clijsters. She was up 4-love in like 10 minutes, and she said to herself, well, something's wrong with this picture. And sure enough, Kim Clijsters almost came back. So that's where you really need to be mentally strong. She's got to be strong again today, Barbara Schett, against Hantuchova, believing that she can win this match.
And you have said that's where you think she lacks a little bit, is on the mental side, because she's gotten in situations against big players where she is able to, or should be closing out a match, and is unable to do it.
I've seen Barbara Schett lose so many close matches where she's served for matches or had a really good lead in the last set and just has not had that confidence to finish it out. Her biggest win, though, did come last year at the French Open when she defeated Venus Williams in the first round.
1999, got up to number 7 in the world.
She got
47 wins.
She got to the quarters of the U.S. Open that year, qualified for the season-ending championships. That was the only year that she played in that event.
47 wins. That was 4th on the tour in match wins. The last 2 years have been not as good. And I say not as good, finishing 21 and 23 in the world, but
well, after you've been 7,
yeah,
for sure it's not as good.
you think you should be up there. Can she get back, I guess, is the question at 26 years old.
I think it's going to be tough. Competition is so high right now, especially in that top 10, 15 area.
Game point, Hantuchova. An easy miss off the second serve return from Schett. That right there might be an indication of the wind that's gusting around a bit. There you go. Looks like that wind is a little more than 9 miles an hour that we showed earlier.
It's going to be important for Barbara Schett to return Hantuchova's second serve well like she did on that previous point. Hantuchova's got a solid second serve. It kicks up high. Schett was able to really take it early on the backhand.
I remember watching Hantuchova about 4 years ago at a challenger in Tampa, Florida.
Did you see the talent back then?
Well, back then you just see this young, I guess at the time she was about 15, 16, long and linky and just standing right on top of the baseline, hitting strokes. And I'm thinking, wow, she must feel pretty confident if she's standing right on top of the baseline, just pounding away at the ball. I happened to be there with my sister at that event, but I mean, it's amazing to see the improvement and how her game has progressed. Really, in such a short period of time. She holds on to serve, 2-love.
That's what you like to see in young players, how much they're improving if they're working on different things. And that's something you see week in and week out with Hantuchova. She and her coach, Nigel Sears, are always discussing strategy before and after matches. You see them working on specific strokes on the practice court. They're not just out there hitting balls, trying to get groove. They're working on whether to take balls early and go to net, attacking the serves. There's always a plan.
Because sometimes it can be easy to reach a certain level of success, and then you say, well, my game's pretty good. I'll just keep it where it is right now, and I'll keep having success. To improve where she wants to get, which you think is certainly top 10 year-end ranking this year, she wants to get into the top 5. She'll have to continue to improve those things.
She's very ambitious, Hantuchova. She wants to end the year at number 5 in the world. I think she'll be definitely in the top 10. I think it's going to be tough to get in the top 5. Remember, you have both Williams sisters, Capriati, Monica Seles. I mean, Lindsay Davenport right now is 9 after coming back from knee surgery, so she's going to be making her move up there.
Yeah.
Kleisters, Hennen, so it's pretty tough up at the top. Not a lot of room right there right now.
That is an amazing group of players that are right there. I mean, I don't think you had that 10 years ago. And when I say I don't think you had that, I don't think you had that many great players packed into the top 10. Schett holds on to serve. Daniela Hantuchova still up a break.
Game point, Schett.
Out.
Called by the chair umpire, Leanne White.
14-13.
Yeah, she's asking why didn't the linesperson call that ball out if it was an inch or two out. That's from that angle you can't really tell, but from that angle it certainly didn't look out.
Looked like it skidded off the line. Still game point.
Well, she holds on to serve and she's done what she's needed to do in that game. Now force her opponent to serve out the match. Hantuchova did not serve out the first set the first time she served for it.
No matter what level player you are, never easy closing out matches.
Why is that?
Just get nervous. It's a big occasion. You want to protect your lead instead of continuing to play the way you've been playing all the match to get the lead. And your opponent, on the other hand, has nothing to lose, so they get a little relaxed, start swinging away. Things get close.
It's a good way to start.
Two very good points from the 19-year-old. Staying aggressive, staying with her game style. You can see her intensity, bouncing up and down before each point.
Nope. 40-15, double match point. Semi-final of our second Tier 1 event of 2002. We talked plenty about her win in Indian Wells earlier this year over Martina Hingis. At this point to play Amelie Mauresmo in tomorrow's semi-final. And there it is, straight sets. Oh, I think she's fairly happy about that. She's reached the semifinals for the first time in Montreal. Solid performance from Daniela Hantuchova. Right, Marja?
It was a terrific performance from the 19-year-old Hantuchova. What a great week, very solid match. She did what she had to do, take care of her own game, served well, was never really challenged by Barbara Schett. Was in control in both sets, and what a great game to finish it off.
Got to be feeling pretty good with a performance like that. She's had a pretty nice run through this tournament so far. She has not lost a set. So playing about as well as anyone. We thought maybe Barbara Schett might be able to pull it up a little bigger challenge with the tennis that she's been playing in the last couple of rounds, but not today. Hantuchova moves on 3-3. Stay with us. We're coming back with more tennis.
Got a little anxious with the return of serve. Didn't quite get around the ball in time. Back to deuce. Match point number 2.
Holds that off.
One of the best serves of the match for Sugiyama. Gave it a little extra. Good placement. Sugiyama is the #1 player in Japan.
That'll take a little bit out of you. Look at that point.
Those are the type of rallies you have to play against Sugiyama. Sugiyama was #1 in doubles a couple years ago, won the U.S. Open with Hallard Decugis of France. Control the power that time from Capriati. Forehand side, it's a little shakier from Sugiyama. The side's going to break down. It'll be the forehand.
Wow. Can't be too happy with that. Another match point.
That's the most frustration you're going to see from Sugiyama, but it's been a tough set for her. She served for the set twice, had a 5-2 lead.
Oh, there you go. Jenna's pretty happy about that. Struggle in that second set, but a straight sets victory nonetheless for Jennifer Capriati. She moves on in this match, 6-1 and 7-5, to take on Justine Henin in today's quarterfinal.
It was a great mental match from Capriati, having lost to Sugiyama last week. She gets to avenge her loss. You could tell from her face she is relieved to have come back in that second set from 5-2 down.
That's always good when someone takes you down like that, and you play them the very next week or a couple of weeks later, and that might be the best feeling in tennis.
Oh, right. Get that win right back.
Factor.
Exactly.
But Jennifer playing very well. Has not won a tournament since the Australian Open, and this is the way the draw looks right now, Joe.
Well, Mauresmo and Hantuchova already through the semis, but we're looking forward to tomorrow, possibly Capriati and Martina Hingis, who's making her comeback.
That would be a great semifinal Saturday. Congratulations again to Daniela Hantuchova, our winner today in the quarterfinals of the Rogers AT&T Club. Be sure to join us again tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN2 for semifinal action from Montreal. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader.
Concord's taking the hassle out of buying auto insurance. Get a fast, easy quote in less than 10 minutes. And now you could save just 3% of nationwide rental. You can enjoy life's simple pleasures.
Amelie Mauresmo. It's now on ESPN. The 2002 Rogers AT&T Cup has drawn record crowds this year. One of the reasons, Jennifer Capriati. She's playing powerful tennis with a style all her own. In the final today, she hopes to taste victory for the 14th time in her professional career. Standing in her way is Amelie Mauresmo and her fierce ground strokes. Mauresmo is all about power. She's beaten Capriati twice, including their last meeting, and hopes to rise to the top again today. Capriati Mauresmo next.
This has been tremendous. This is the Rogers AT&T Cup. It's the final match. Amelie Mauresmo from France takes on Jennifer Capriati for the title. Along with Mary Jo Fernandez, I'm Malavia, Washington. I said it's been a great week of tennis. Look at the draw right here, Mary Jo, through the quarters.
It's been a terrific week of tennis, Mal. 7 of the top 10 women were entered in this field, including Martina Hingis, who's back from surgery she underwent back in May. And Amelie Mauresmo has been a hot player this week, and she's one of those players that gives Jennifer Capriati a very hard time. Serena Williams, Venus Williams, they have the power and the speed, but Amelie Mauresmo has the variety.
She does have the variety. She showed it at Wimbledon this year, which might have been a bit of a surprise to a lot of people. Had never been past the third round, taking on Jennifer in the quarterfinals. Tremendous effort from Mauresmo.
Well, it shocked everyone, including me. I really thought that Jennifer had the advantage on the faster court, but Mauresmo has surprised me on other occasions. She can play on every surface. Remember, she got to the finals of the Australian Open in 1999. She does well on clay. And Jennifer has to do a little bit more of that, attack the net, take some time away from Mauresmo, because Mauresmo can serve well, she can hit off the ground well, she's got a beautiful one-handed backhand, and she has no fear.
One of the questions for Mauresmo is which Mauresmo is going to show up. I point to a tournament back in Sydney 2000 where she beat the 1, 2, 3 players in the world. But for her, it's been consistency throughout the year.
That's absolutely right. She's very unpredictable. Last year, she was the hottest player going into the French Open, and what does she do? She loses first round, doesn't do so well at Wimbledon or at the Canadian, but then goes to the quarters of the U.S. Open. This year, she's been much more consistent. Round 16 at the French Open, beats Jennifer at Wimbledon. Now she's in the final, so who knows what she's going to do at the U.S. Open, but she is determined and relaxed this week.
No question, Jennifer Capriati started out the year pretty good. You know, another major championship in Australia. Since then, people might say, okay, she's been in a bit of a funk, lost in a couple of finals. What about now? Well,
She's trying to end a lot of streaks this week. She lost in 3 quarters coming into this tournament, and I think she's a player with a lot of confidence, but it's got to be playing on her mind that she hasn't won a title since Australia. She's ranked number 3 in the world, and you need to start winning some titles, contending again for the majors to get back to number 1.
She is seeking her 14th career title. She was in the finals here last year. Will this be her year? 27 players from 27 different countries were represented here in Montreal. And it's coming down to these two, Jennifer Capriati and Amelie Mauresmo, for the title in Montreal. It's next on ESPN2.
Tough week in and week out. But at least she knows that she's got the ability to beat the top players. She's done it before. Mauresmo to serve. I love the matchup between these two players. Jennifer likes to stand on that baseline, hit it on the rise, hard and flat. Mauresmo will move up in the court. She'll move back to defend. She's got the beautiful one-handed backhand with a lot of topspin. It's a very heavy ball. The backhand is the weapon for Amelie Mauresmo. That's what sets her points up. She loves the cross-court one, pulling Capriati out wide. I think today's going to be really important for Mauresmo to not only get a lot of first serves in, but to mix it up. Keep Jennifer guessing. You can see where she stands to serve Mauresmo. It's really far out wide, which you would expect her to serve out to the forehand out wide on the deuce court, but she mixes it up, and that's not a bad idea because she can get that body serve like she just did and jam her opponents.
Where does her serve compare to the best servers on the tour, Mauresmo?
Well, it's a level below the best, a Serena Williams and Lindsay Davenport.
Because everyone is always talking about the power that she has. You saw it there on that forehand.
Forehand's a side that can break down tight situations. She's got a big loop. I think Capriati's going to try to really attack that side, keep the ball deep.
Game point. Well, she's catching the lines quite a bit this first game. In her semifinal match, she took on Daniela Hantuchova.
And it was all Mauresmo in the first set, playing flawless tennis. Hantuchova really couldn't hurt her. Mauresmo this week has been very aggressive, attacking the net whenever possible, showing her great variety from the baseline with her topspin, with her angles, her little slice. Look at this passing shot on the run. Second set got a little closer. Hantuchova had 2-set points at 6-5. She had break points, but Mauresmo fought back and won it in the tiebreak. Very solid performance from Mauresmo.
And you would, I think, kind of favor Hantuchova in that match.
I did. I thought that with her aggressive game and her big serve, these courts are playing quick this week, I thought she was going to be able to have that win, but Mauresmo, as she does many times, proved me wrong.
And like we talked about, a lot of it's going to come down to which player shows up. This is her road to the final. She beat Granville in the round of 16, Zuluaga, and the match we just showed you, Hantuchova. Been record crowds here this week from Montreal. Best they've ever seen in the history of the event. And it's great to have two of the best, two of the top 10 players in the world in the final. It seems kind of fitting that's the way it should end up.
It's pretty tough these days not to have a good final. We have so many great players at the top of women's tennis. Capriati holds 1-all. In the past, when Chris and Martina were number 1 and 2 in the world, if you lost one of them, it was a huge loss for the event. But nowadays, you can lose a Venus earlier, you can lose a Davenport, and you can still end up with a Capriati or another Williams or a Hingis. There's just a ton of names. Monica Seles, Kleisters, it just keeps going.
Well, that's what happened this week with Serena having to withdraw with tendonitis in the knees. You have those, I guess you could call them established players, those household names, and then you have the, those up-and-comers like Hantuchova, who is starting to make a tremendous name for herself, Elena Dokic.
And the household names just keep growing. I love the fact that you know all the women players by their first names.
Well, you mentioned the forehand's probably a little more erratic, might produce a few more errors. We've seen her net a few balls on that side.
As is the case with a lot of forehands that produce errors, she also produces a lot of winners from that side. She likes to run around and hit the forehand hard. She just needs the time to do it.
Overruled by the chair umpire. Jennifer looked like she was actually playing it, moving to the center of the court, but are we going to see much of that from her? If she's to win this match?
Well, she needs to play aggressive. She needs to use all her variety to beat someone like Jennifer, who has so much power. Trying to do it again. That's the right play. Hit a good first serve. Got the ball she wanted.
These are what we think are the keys to Mauresmo winning today. A high first serve percentage, mixing up the pace, using her shot-making ability to her advantage. High first serve percentage because watch what Jennifer may try to do with this second serve. Windy down there.
It's a big stadium. Wind gets trapped on the court. It's been very swirly all week.
But give Capriati too many looks at second serve, she will make you pay. Oh! Mauresmo holds on to serve once again, 2 games to 1. Capriati will be serving when we come back.
We got a 25,000th show coming up pretty soon.
Really?
Yeah, August 25th.
That's a lot of
That point.
And again, throw the wind into the mix. It's a good deep second serve, right off the service line.
Better hitting that time from Capriati. Stepping inside that baseline. She's a different player. When she's moving in, taking the ball early.
Well, in this game, it seems like she'll play a solid point. In the very next one, she'll throw in an error. So she should play another solid point here.
Well, she's definitely feeling the pressure from Mauresmo's heavy topspin. She's trying to aim that ball too deep. Go for a little extra. Coming up with the error. Third set point for Mauresmo. Capriati is not one to hold back. Known for her great comebacks, plays her best when she's down.
A little more forceful with her ground strokes in that point.
The backhand sets up this forehand for Amelie Mauresmo. She can really turn it up a notch whenever she wants. Got that extra acceleration on her racket.
Took 4 set points, but Amelie Mauresmo gets the first and only break of the first set and takes it 6 games to 4 to the displeasure of Capriati. We're coming back.
New this fall on
Primetime coverage of the X Games at 7 Eastern. The X Games tonight on ABC. 7 Eastern and 7 Pacific. Now Mauresmo serving for her 8th career title. $182,000 for the winner, $92,000 for the runner-up.
Mauresmo's second title of the year. She won one in Doha in February. You see Stefano Capriati, Jennifer's dad and coach.
Two points away. Capriati won this event as a 15-year-old in 1991, lost in the final last year, and is 2 points away from losing in the final again. And now you have to start thinking, speaking of favorites maybe going into the U.S. Open, is Mauresmo maybe a favorite?
No, she plays the way she's playing right now. She definitely is. She's played almost a perfect match. Few unforced errors on the forehand, but not too bad.
Going into the U.S. Open, having beaten Capriati 2 times this summer, confidence level will be high. Two match points. And what a way to finish. Amelie Mauresmo takes out Jennifer Capriati and has gone through this week without losing a single set.
Flawless performance by Mauresmo. She did everything well. Fitting for her to finish with an ace because the serve really helped her on the big points. She gave Jennifer no rhythm out, used her great variety, had a game plan, and stayed cool, calm, and collected throughout the entire match.
Nice performance all the way around from both players. Congratulations, Amelie Mauresmo, a straight sets winner.